I found a criminally underused hack that can help you increase your Chase credit limit in as little as 90 days. So even if Chase handed you a $500 baby limit and then just slammed the door in your face when you ask for more, this hack still works. And coming up, you'll see how 4 Chase cardholders got hit with a denial, then used one phone call and a few magic words to unlock up to $5,000 in extra credit. Plus, you can steal my script and then use it to copy this winning process for yourself, along with 5 simple hacks to help you pull this off every 90 days. And before you tell yourself, Chase never gives increases or I probably don't qualify, you want to pay attention to these data points I'm about to show you. And these aren't unicorns or outliers. These are everyday people who got told no by the system and then picked up the phone and flipped it into a yes. These are the wins that prove that the reconsideration line isn't just worth trying, it's actually criminally underused. So let's say you get approved for your first Chase card. It's a Freedom Mirage card, and they throw you the smallest of crumbs of a $500 credit limit. You use it right, you make your payments, you're building credit from scratch for the first time. But when you ask Chase to raise your limit, you get denied. And the worst part, the denial was based on an old credit report from before they even had a FICO score to judge you on. Most people would have taken the L and waited, but this person didn't. They called the reconsideration line, calmly explained their case, and then boom, a $2,000 limit approved on the spot. This proves that you don't need a long history or even a FICO score for that matter. A human rep can override the system when you stick up for yourself. Another Chase user asked for a credit limit increase and got denied with the all too familiar line of, your last credit limit increase was too recent. But instead of waiting another 3 to 6 months, they made a quick call to Chase's lending department. The rep then reviewed their account manually and gave them a $600 increase immediately. That raised their limit from $1,400 up to $2,000. Now, this next one is a power move. So this person had already received a credit limit increase just 3 months earlier, but decided to shoot their shot again. They were denied at first, of course, because Chase loves to say no through their automated system. But they called in and asked for a bump to $10,000, and the rep came back with a counteroffer of $7,500. For them, that was a massive $4,500 increase from where they started. They were still under their 0% APR period and still in their promo window, but they walked away with a bigger limit and even more spending power. So I'd say that you want to aim high. Chase might not give you everything you asked for, but they'll often meet you in the middle with a decent counteroffer. Now, this next one breaks all the rules. So this person had a 649 FICO score, a stack of inquiries. You even joked about it as having like 50 inquiries, and they had 12 new accounts, including 3 installment loans and 2 auto loans. On paper, this looked messy, but that didn't stop them. They picked up the phone and told the rep that they wanted their Chase card limit to match their other card limits and made their case. After a few questions and a short hold, the rep came back and said, "You got it." They were approved for a full credit limit increase from $1,000 up to $6,000. So there's no new credit pull, no fresh report was needed. They used the same one that triggered the denial. Now, I will say the difference here is that this person was running $10,000 through the card and making 4 payments a month. So they didn't just hold a dormant Chase card. They were actually using it like a power user. Now, what I take away from this is that your real world behavior, high usage, on-time payments, low balances can really carry more weight than your credit score alone. So you want to treat Chase like your go-to card, and they're more likely to treat you like a preferred customer. And every single person in these data points we just walked through, they all got denied at first. Some were told that their limits were too new. Others got flagged for having too many accounts and not enough usage or even no FICO score at all. But you know what changed everything? They picked up the phone. They called Chase's reconsideration department, and within minutes, that no became a $1,000 or a $5,000 yes. And that's the hack. But listen, this isn't just a guessing game. Chase wants responsible long-term cardholders. If you give the rep a clear reason to believe that you're that person, then you can make them want to help you. So here's the points that you want to hit when you actually talk to them. You want to say things like, "I'm shifting most of my everyday spending to this card." That shows future usage, and that equals more revenue for Chase. You can also say that I use the card often and make multiple payments a month. This really signals low risk and strong money management. You can also say my income has recently increased, or it's going to increase soon and I expect my spending to grow. And higher income equals more ability to handle a larger limit. That's going to be a green light for you. You can also say that I want to maintain a low utilization to keep my credit score in good shape. And that shows Chase that you care about your finances and you don't want to just max out everything. You can even say, I'm planning to grow with Chase long term. You got to remember that loyalty pays off. This lets them know that you're not just chasing bonuses. This mix of strong usage, growing income, and brand loyalty is exactly what gets those reps to say, let me see what I could do for them. So if you take these steps, you can actually call Chase's reconsideration line. So you want to start by calling the lending department. You can dial the number 1-888-609-7805. You want to have your info ready. So you want to grab your denial letter or your reference number. And you'll usually find this on your Chase app or email. You can even use your social security number to look up your application too. And then you got to make your case. You want to explain why you're requesting the increase and be ready to speak to the points that I've already talked about. And listen, I'm going to give you the exact script that you can use right now. You could say something like, I'm making this my go-to card and shifting most of my spending through Chase now. My income's also increasing soon, so I expect my monthly usage to grow quite a bit. I always pay on time and keep my balances low, and I just want to make sure that I've got the right limit to manage that spending without hurting my credit score. I really want to grow with Chase. I already bank with you guys, and I plan on opening a business checking and savings account in the near future too. And here's a pro tip. You can add that more business owners just like you who love to open a business account with Chase. And by the way, if you like this type of content and you want me to keep making more of it, just let me know by hitting the subscribe button below. But moving on, here's the best part that most people miss. Chase works on a 90-day rhythm. So that means even if you just got denied or you just got an increase 2 or 3 months ago, there's still a shot every 90 days to ask again and then get approved, especially if something in your profile has changed. So don't take one no and then disappear for a year. Treat this like a routine, like your quarterly credit check-in. Even set a calendar reminder. So every 90 days, ask yourself, have I been using the card consistently? Has my income changed? Has my credit improved even slightly? Am I paying more than the minimum or making multiple payments every month? If so, feel free to call again. Even if Chase says no once, they won't blacklist you for trying again. And if you keep stacking those small wins, you can go from a $1,000 card to a $10,000+ card in less than a year. Now, here's the play if you want to walk into the phone call with the strongest shot at getting approved. Because you don't want to just ask for a credit limit increase. You want to set yourself up to deserve one. Because Chase isn't just listening to what you say, they're watching how you use the card. So number one, you got to show activity. Use your card consistently. We're talking about 5 to 10 transactions per month, So I'm talking about groceries, gas, subscriptions, takeout. It really doesn't matter. Just keep the wheels turning. Chase wants to see that this card isn't sitting in the sock drawer. And then 2, make multiple payments a month. So instead of just paying once at the end of the billing cycle, try making 2 to 4 payments per month. This signals strong cash flow and shows Chase that you're serious about keeping your balance in check, even if you're spending more. And then 3, you want to keep that utilization tight. I'm talking 0 to 10%. Because listen, if you want a quick way to get flagged as high risk, carry high balances. If you want to be seen as responsible, keep your utilization below 10%, especially right before your statement closes. And even better, let it report as $0 while it's still showing activity. And then 4, you got to update your income. Your income is one of the biggest levers that you could pull, and Chase uses it to calculate your limit, and yet most people never update it. So you want to log into your Chase account, go to your profile, and update your annual household income. And if your income has gone up, let them know. That one move could be the difference between a $2,000 limit and a $20,000 limit. And you also need to keep your other Chase accounts in good standing. So if you got a checking account, savings account, or another Chase credit card, make sure that you're not overdrafting or carrying late payments or ignoring balances. All of that is going to play into your trust score with Chase. So before you ever call in, give Chase a reason to say yes. And you know what? This is a lot like what happened to another small business owner, just last month who got approved for over $55,000 in credit with Chase with no docs. You really got to check out that next video right here. You'll see the 4 key reasons they still got approved for their first Chase Inc. card, even with a 680 credit score and 2 baddies reporting on their credit report at the time, and how they scored a $14,000 credit limit increase in under 30 seconds. Thank you for watching.